Welcome to Start Here, Go Everywhere. I am Linda Moyo, an alumna of Jobs for America's graduates. On this podcast, we bring you incredible guests from all walks of life, offering the skills to educate, inspire, and challenge you to succeed in both school, on the job skills, and in personal life, leading to productive and rewarding careers.
Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be here with Maria Romero. She first started off as a JAG specialist, and now she is the team coordinator for Nevada. Maria, welcome.
Thank you, Linda. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Maria, I am interested in your life story because I feel like you and I relate on a personal level with our journeys being immigrants. And I would love to hear a little bit more about your immigrant journey and how you got here to the States.
Wonderful. Thank you, Linda. Well, I came to the United States in 1996. Uh, I came to help my sister, actually. My intention was not to stay here for long, just to help out. However, as I stay here,
Mm-hmm.
more opportunities came to me. And I really love the fact that this country offers opportunities to a lot of
Yes.
people if they want to take them. I graduated college from my country, Mexico, where I'm originally from. However, the opportunities, especially for women, are not as fair as for men. And
Yeah.
sometimes you need to know somebody, or you need to do stuff that you're not willing to in order
Mm-hmm.
to get the job that you want. So I think this is one of the great things about America that really motivated me to stay, to really stay, and say, you know what, I think I want to stay here. I don't want to go back. I want to stay here and grow as professionally. and,
Yeah.
and I did. I came with zero English, of course. I remember going to the store and not understanding a thing. I was even afraid to answer the phone,
Oh.
and because what are they saying? I don't know. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of my challenges. And I remember going to the store, and my sister had to translate for me all the time.
Mm.
And then one day she told me, Maria, you better learn, because I will not be with you all the time. So that's when
Yeah.
I started going, to these little English language learner classes. And that's how I started. And then I went to the community college just to take English classes to learn. So, and then I started working and getting, those positions of leadership
Mm-hmm.
and learning a lot more with people. I started working in a restaurant. I remember before that I started cleaning houses from 6 a.m. in the morning until 9 p.m. at night,
Wow.
and it was tiring. I
Yeah.
decided I don't like this life. I don't want to be. I want to learn. I want to do something with my life. So that's when I decided, you know what? I need to study. I need to learn the language. I need to grow, and it
Hmm.
has been a great experience. A lot of people along the way, I call them angels, right?
Oh,
That help
yeah.
you out. They understand you, that support you, and they believe in you, which is the
Hmm.
important point here. People who believe in you. I remember I applied for one of the casinos because I had a child at
Hmm.
the age of 30, and I had a car accident, and he was born very
Mm.
ill. So in and out of the hospital, I couldn't work for 7 years
Wow.
to be with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the opportunity to work for a nonprofit, back then it was the Latin Chamber of Commerce Community Foundation. I got an opportunity to work there with out of school youth, those youth that drop out
Hmm.
and they don't know what to go, they need that help. So I started working there, and I really, really enjoy it. And then the director of the program back then, which is now Dr. Cantu, which is my boss now,
Hmm.
he got to this to the J4G or JAG program. The governor Sandoval back then brought JAG to Nevada, and
Okay.
he chose Dr. Cantu to be the person leading the program. So that's how he invited me over. So Maria, I know you are a hard worker. Come with me. So I did, and I know because my community needs. And look, one of the things, and my biggest fear was
Mhm.
not able to effectively
Mhm.
communicate with the students due, of course, with my accent. Sometimes
Yeah.
I was still learning, but I think Dr. Cantu believed in me and
Mhm.
supported me and pushed
Mhm.
me, and they trained us so well that I was able to really learn and dig deeper into the students' lives. And I remember when I had my interview with the principal at the time,
Mhm.
he said, Maria, I just want a
Mhm.
person who cares about my students. I don't care about
Yeah.
titles or degrees. I care for a person that will take care of my kids. And then
Mm.
30 minutes later, I received a phone call. So, and it has been beautiful. Students like you really make our job a better, enjoyable. Because, working with you as a sophomore, here's a sophomore, junior, senior, and they're graduating, there's
Mhm.
nothing more beautiful than see you guys walk that stage and see, what, I made a difference in that kid's life. And I think
Yeah.
that what keeps us, who we are.
Yeah, I love to hear that you're so passionate about helping students. And even though you had your own things that you needed to overcome, moving to a whole new country and learning English is not an easy language. People usually think it's easy, but I think it's one of the
No, it's
hardest.
not.
Exactly. And then you started working and you got yourself to learn English, and then you were in these positions of leadership. And how did you, though, get over your self doubt of that language barrier? Because even though your boss believed in you, that must have been hard because when you're speaking, you hear your accent, and then there's that fear. Do these students get me? Do they relate to my culture? How was that journey like for you?
It was not easy because, as
Mhm.
I just said, a lot of people criticize me, but,
Yeah.
it's okay. I think one of the things I knew that I wanted to do this. I knew that my call was to help kids. And one of the things that I did not mention when I graduated college in Mexico, one of my
Mhm.
professors asked me, "Hey, Maria, would you like to teach high school students?" And I said, no, never in a million years.
And why
I
did
don't
you
want to
say
do that
no?
because I don't know. I feel like they were too hard to deal with. And I did
Mm.
not want to deal with high school students in my mind, of course. And when I came here and I started teaching, and I loved it. I remember the first year that I started teaching, I had students with less than 1 point GPA. So
Mm.
it was really difficult. But when it really hit me, it was at the end of the first semester that I had a guest speaker, one of my first guest speakers. And I invited him over and he started asking to the kids. And I was like, okay, guys, what did you learn in this class? What can you tell me now?
Yeah.
And I was, man, what are they gonna say? So, and it was great to see the kids stand
Yeah.
and tell them, you know what, we learned how to do resumes, how to do this. Miss Romero has changed my life. He has
Mm.
given me uh like worth to my life. There was one particular student that was always wearing a hoodie. He will
Mm.
never take the hoodie off, no matter what. So, and that day I noticed that he removed the hoodie. And then when my guest speaker asked him, it was his turn. He stand up. I said, "Well, I love this class, and I appreciate Miss Romero because she gives me my identity back." And I know
Oh.
who I am. Oh my goodness, I
Mm.
start crying like a little baby. But I
Yeah.
think that's when I realized, what, God really put me in this position for a reason, and
Mm.
I'm going to continue. The first year was, like the kids, I don't want to go to school, but I knew that the kids were waiting for me, and that
Yeah.
I get there at 6:30 in the morning, and the kids were waiting for me outside. And that's when I really realized, you know what, this is my call. This is what I was born to do, education. So then I started researching into my school,
Yeah.
getting back to school here and get my teaching degree. And I had to start all over again because once I got my transcript from Mexico, they did not,
Mhm.
the classes did not transfer. But you know what? I really, in my heart, I want to do it. I said, you know what? I don't care. I'll start from, you know, from the beginning. Little by little, I will do it. So I start. It took me to get my associate's degree here. It took
Yeah.
me probably like four, almost 5 years.
Yeah.
And then something magical happened.
Hmm.
I One of my former, well, colleagues, we worked together from UNLV with my students, of course. She contacted me and asked me, hey Maria, there is this big program at UNLV. They
Hmm.
will give you a scholarship to finish your teaching degree. I go, wow. So
Oh.
I was able to apply. That was July of last year, right?
Hmm.
July 12th, I had to do an essay. I have to apply for a whole bunch of stuff. In 3 days, I completed everything. And I shared this with my students. Oh, I'm so proud of you, Miss. So I applied and I was able to get into the program. So they pay everything. So everything
Oh.
for free. I'll be graduating in May 14 with my degree. And my students say, Miss, you're my role model. I want to be like you. And especially because we have students like you and my students that came from, immigrant students, refugee students.
Mm.
And I want them to know that no matter the language, you can overcome if you really want. If
Oh.
that's a desire you have on your heart, let's go for it. I remember one student in particular, she came one day crying because
Mm.
when she talked to her family about her dreams to become a teacher, they told her, oh, no, no, you're not going to be a teacher. Guess what? You're going to get married, drop out of college, and that's going to be
Oh.
your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, she came crying the next day. Said, "Mija, don't believe what they
Mm.
say. Believe in you. What you believe is what is gonna happen. It's up to you. It's not up to them."
Yeah.
And yeah, we were able to get her into college. I don't know if they graduating this May, but hey, you know what? It takes me a while, but I think the most important, and you can tell me as a student, the most impact we do in our students is uh, to feed positivity into you
Oh.
guys and to believe in you and to let you know how beautiful you are. Every morning I wait for my students at the door. Hey, you are beautiful. I love your haircut. I love your new shoes. When you notice the little details, man, they really appreciate that. And I love doing that with my kiddos. And hey, beautiful.
Yeah. No, I think that as a former JAG student, that's what I got most from my specialist. The affirmations, that belief, I think my specialist believed in me even before I knew that I could believe in myself. And that is such an important thing that has gotten me to where I'm at today. So I appreciate you as a former specialist and instilling those beliefs and value in your students. That's beautiful. You mentioned that you worked with a lot of immigrant and refugee students. And from what I know about immigrant and some refugee students, is that the parents or the family, they have this expectation, like you mentioned with the story that you just shared, of once you graduate from high school, this is exactly your plan. You're going to become a nurse, a doctor, an engineer. They have these priorities for their children that their children might not be interested in. And especially since JAG helps students to find their careers, how did you overcome the narrative that the parents were feeding their kids and the narrative that JAG feeds the kids, where it's like, find your passion and let's figure out what kind of career we can get you into so that you can enjoy that?
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? And I had to have many meetings with many parents about this particular issue.
Yeah,
Because what happens sometimes as parents want to fulfill our dreams through our kids,
yeah.
and we never sat with them and say, hey son, what do you want to do? What is your
Mm,
dream? Maybe I this particular student, Iris, she's wrote me a note
Oh, that's so sweet.
4 years ago, and I
Oh,
still have it right with me.
I
And
love that.
so sh- she was one of our immigrant students, of course, who didn't feel quite that it was the right decision for her to go to college right away. And
Mm-hmm.
then mom, obviously, she wanted, hey, you better go to college, you better go to college.
Yeah.
So I have to sit with mom and say, look, okay, we support whatever decision she takes. We went over what career she wants. She's not sure what she wants at this point, but she wants to work to save for college because unfortunately she was an undocumented student, and
Mm-hmm.
back then, we didn't have much scholarship for
Yeah.
undocumented students. So I have to sit with mom and explain to her and have her, my student, share with her how she felt. So mom understood after a couple meetings. Mom understood that okay, you're not gonna go to college right away. Maybe someday. A year and a half later, she started college.
Oh,
As I
that's
say, just
good.
give them time to to realize what they really want to do, because another big issue that we have with a lot of our students, they go out of state, they start college, and then the parents have to go pick them up because they're not ready.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that's that's why I always tell my students, try college first here. If you're not 100% sure, try community college. If you don't like it, fine, find a job. We, thank God, have the opportunity to lead them to the right career, whether it's a job, it's college, or it's both. A lot of our students do both college
Mm.
or trade school, because that's what
Yes.
we tell the students. You don't want to go to college, there's trade schools for
Mm-hmm.
nursing, there's trade schools for this. So, and the kids really, the great thing about the specialists is bringing all these resources to the classroom and really expand the kids' knowledge. Oh, miss, I
Yeah.
can do this. Oh, miss, I can do that. So this is, a great thing about the specialists, that we can bring all that to the classroom. The kids don't have to go anywhere. Here we are.
Exactly.
So now we have the internet, when we can research anything we want and realize, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think I want to do that.
What is something that you have found that students are hungry for at this age, like those high school age? What do they really want outside of what school tells them, what parents tell them, and what even specialists and other teachers tell them?
What I found they want, or they looking for,
Hmm.
it's an understanding of who they
Oh,
are.
yeah.
The acceptance. You accept me for who I am. You don't
Mm,
want me to change. Well, of course, bad behaviors, we need them to ride them into the right pathway, right? But the person that you are, I have kids that they're not very good in math, right? But we
hmm.
work hard for that. And I tell them, Mijo, I don't want you to get a straight A. I want you to do your best. And we're going to
Yeah.
do it together. Even if it is a C, I'm celebrating with you. And I love and accept you for who you are. If you
Mm,
want to be a nurse, I love you because you want to be a nurse. Do you want to be a plumber? Great. Be the best plumber ever. You want to work in retail? Be the best worker. So I think it's just believing in them and accept them for who they are. And
yeah.
they crave for that acceptance and that love, because sometimes they don't have that at home, or they don't
Mm,
have that. I don't know. Sometimes they come. I remember my second year, third year graduation.
mhm.
One of the students, they I do or I did when I was in the classroom, a graduation celebration every year, where I invite parents and families, and let's celebrate food and all that. And I had, funny, I had the same guest speaker that I got the first time when my student, talked to him and told him that I have give him his, identity back.
Yeah.
So that same person came to that graduation. And then when I
Mm,
open up the microphone, okay, guys, you want to say something for your families? Go ahead. This is open. So one of my students, she always wanted to stay after school.
mm,
And that day, she had a really tough life. And she got up and said, Miss Romero, I just want to thank you for being there for me. And you are the first person and only person in my life that told me that you're proud of me. And I really
Mm.
appreciate that. And after that, of course, working to join the Marines, she's a Marine now, along with another student. She had
Yeah.
overcome so many challenges. But that's another thing, she started crying. We all start crying. My guests start crying. Say, Maria, I'm sorry, you didn't tell me this was part of the of the
Oh.
deal today. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, but I think changing the student's life is our business. That's JAG
Mm.
business. Because,
Yeah.
the specialists put their hearts, put their souls, their time, and sometimes money to change the lives of the students that we have under our care. So, and you guys, not just one more student, I think you guys become part of who we are.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's what you are. Hmm.
Oh, I love that. And again, the passion that you're giving as a specialist or as a person who now just works for JAG in general, that is so important. And I can already imagine you and how you've interacted with all these kids and the impact that you've had on all of them. So I appreciate that you've done that. And I want to know about a little bit more about Maria. What is one thing that you have overcome that you are so proud of yourself for doing?
Phew, you know what? The one thing is, I was a very insecure person.
Mm,
I did not believe in myself. I did not believe that I could accomplish greatness. You know how we call it. I
yeah,
know I'm not great, but it's a way of put it.
yeah.
But I remember my husband. He pushed me, said, "You can do this. Don't be afraid." If people laugh at you, it is what it is. Because I remember when I went to my second school and I was with the students, one of the secretaries told me later, "Shana, you know what, Maria, I have one teacher coming, and I guess she or he observed you as you were teaching
Hmm.
and came to me and said, what is this woman doing with these kids?" And is it, but don't worry, you're gonna
Yeah.
encounter these people, but you can do this, Maria. You have our support. And I think huh, the fear of not being able to accomplish my goal of helping the students, and the language barrier. I think that's the
Yes.
biggest that I have overcome. Now going to college is hard because it's not my language, but guess
Yeah.
what? I really enjoy it. I really, really, really enjoy it. One of my peers at college said, Maria, you so extra. You write too much. And that's who that's who I am, right? I love writing. Once I start writing, I don't stop. So but that's something that I enjoy. I may have this big thick accent, but it's learning. Life is about learning new skills, learning something new every day. And I learn from my students. You guys were the ones the first year they helped me out. I remember I was afraid. So how
Mm.
am I gonna teach this? And the kids, don't worry, Miss, we gotcha.
Oh.
So and what they did,
Hmm.
they say, okay, today, Miss, I'm teaching. Tomorrow, so and so is teaching. So
Wow.
we got PowerPoints together, and then the students were teaching themselves in class. So, and I learned from them. As I say, I never taught in my life. My English was not as it is right now. So the kids really helped me and were my teachers in the classroom.
Mm.
So that's it. I love that first class. I love them, and they will always live in my heart.
I love that. So now that you're out of the classroom, how do you handle your job? You're the team coordinator of about 12 programs, you said. How has
Hmm.
that journey been for you?
It's been great because I have the opportunity to get to meet kids from different schools and
Mm,
go visit them and be in class with them maybe for a day or two if the specialist is not there. And the kids really embrace you. And I miss that the most, about
mhm,
being a coordinator, not being with the kids. That is the thing that I miss the most. However, being able to pass on my experience to other specialists and the things that I did.
Mm,
I say, look, this worked really well in my school. Why don't you try it? Oh, I have this guest speaker. Great. How? What about you doing this? So passing on that experience to the new specialists and to the
mm,
specialists that I have. Is great when they oh Maria, guess what, I did that and it worked really well. So I think that is just helping them out, helping them grow.
mhm.
I'm not perfect, but as I say, my program was one of the best here in Southern Nevada.
Yeah. Maria, I think that today we live in a world that's so difficult. There's a lot of negativity, hate. It's just horrible. When you turn on the news, you see and hear about everything bad. So, what makes you feel
Yes,
hopeful and inspired right now?
love. It's all about
Mm,
love. One of the things, look, with my kids, every day, I know sometimes we have, hard times as specialists,
mhm,
with our families. But the main thing is love and showing that to the kids, and not just saying, be authentic with your
mm,
students. One of the things, I wait for them at the door. As I say, I give them a hug.
yeah.
They expect that. And some of them really tight because that's what they need at that moment.
Mm.
I'm a hugger though, so I hug everybody. Hey, how you doing? Hey. So, and that's how I show how much I appreciate you. And sometimes if the
Mm,
kid doesn't feel good today, they just need that hug. And after that, they just go sit. Later on, they feel miss. Can I talk to you? Of course. So I think the love and the see the positive side of things. We cannot dwell on whatever negativity we have around because our
mm,
kids have enough. We
yeah.
need to be able to feed into the positive, into the hopeful, and to the beautiful things. Because they go home, they watch TV, on social media is negativity all over. Whether I'm not as pretty as so and so, I'm not as thing as so and so, I don't have this like so and so. But if we feed positivity, gratefulness for who you are, what you have, you beautiful no matter what. I think that's how we should, you know, feed that into our students. Everything positive, past
And
is
it,
past.
And as much as you have spoken these positive things and filled, the students with these words of wisdom, everything, they still go home and you're at your home as well. And yes, they can email you, maybe sometimes call you, but when they're by themselves, the students, if I'm a student by myself and I'm in my room and those negative thoughts start to get into my head, what words of wisdom would you tell them when they're by themselves in that moment? Whether it's family drama, whether they're uncertain about their career and self esteem issues, and I mean, so many issues. What would you tell them at that very moment?
I think one of the things that I will tell them is to accept what we have
Mm,
and see the positive of what we have. Things, some things we cannot change, but to see the beauty within you.
mm,
Because if we don't teach the kids to see the beauty within them, no matter how many words of wisdom we give them, if
mm,
we don't get that to the child, it's going to be really hard. Your words will sound all over the place, but not to
mm,
where they're supposed to be. But when we develop that into the kid in our classroom, I think they take that home.
mm,
I know, yeah, I believe in me. I'm an amazing person. I'm beautiful. I know I may not have the perfect mom, the perfect dad, or the perfect circumstances at home, but I know that that I'm better than this. I know that I'm worth it, and I know that I'm loved. I have one student. By the end of the senior year, when they graduated, right the
mm,
next day, mom moved and he told him, "Sorry, we're out. You're out.
mm.
You're not moving with me. You're on your own."
Wow.
So I remember receiving that phone call, Miss. I don't know what to do. I have my luggage with me and I don't know where to go.
Mm,
So we were able to get him into a single suites for 3 months. until
Mm-hmm.
he was working, he get
Yeah.
enough money to get back and pay his own rent. But that student, for example, he, I guess, he appreciated everything that we did for him.
Mm-hmm.
That happened 2 years ago. Every so often, he texts me, Miss, just thinking about you. One day, one day, and maybe I'm gonna start. I
Mm.
was feeling those days that you don't feel your best, right?
Yeah.
And then I received a text. It was Sunday. And then I received a text from this student, said, Miss, I don't know, I just felt in my heart that
Mm.
you needed me. And then he sent me a text, I love you, Miss, just thinking of you. And that made my day. And I said, you know
Yeah.
what? The kids really get that from you. So
Mm.
what you feed them and the seed that you plant in their hearts, they will grow. Maybe not with me, but they will be able to help others. And
Mm-hmm.
that's my goal, for them to make a difference in other people, maybe in their families, their best friend, wherever they go, to be that light in this darkness.
Wow. Maria, I came into this conversation not knowing anything about you, but now I know and I want to acknowledge that you have such a beautiful and a big heart, not only for yourself, but for these students and the work that you do. Being an immigrant person coming to the US and overcoming these struggles that to other people seem so little, but those were huge. And getting
Yes.
your degree and you're graduating this May and uh, helping your kids help you to learn how to teach and the words that you spill to them, all these things, that is incredible, and it's because of people like you that people like us can then go out there believing in ourselves and overcome
Amen.
anything. So that's, I just wanted to
Amen.
make sure that you know that you are an important person in every one of those kids lives.
And you know what? Another thing that I really did, and I still do every day before I get into my classroom, I pray for my students.
Mm,
I pray for whoever comes through this door. Because
yeah.
if they're coming through that door, is because God has put them there
Hmm.
for me to help. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I practice a lot, is praying for my students every day.
I love that. And Maria, I have one more question for you. And this is
Yes.
hypothetically speaking. If I was the last
Yes.
person to have a conversation with you and you could only say, just a few things, and I was the last person that you'll ever get to speak to, what would you want the world to know about Maria Romero?
Well, that's a tough one. So I think the one thing I want them to know about Maria Romero is that Maria Romero has a passion
Mm,
for changing kids' lives. And that, love, I think God has been so great to me and has given me love in my heart and people who support me, that I want to pour that into my students. Whoever listen this message, you're important, you're amazing, you're the best person in this world and the most important. And don't let ever nobody tell you otherwise, because
mm.
you're amazing and you're beautiful and you can accomplish whatever you want if you put your heart and soul to it.
Well, Maria, again, thank you for today.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest things, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at JAG Students. Thanks again, and see you next time.